Hello and welcome. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a piece of technology that you use every single day, probably without even realizing it: cloud computing. So what is the cloud really? Let's break it down. Here's our game plan. We're going to start with the why, the big problem that the cloud was created to solve. Then we'll define what it actually is, weigh the pros and cons, and walk through the two key choices everyone has to make: which deployment model and which service model to use. Then we'll wrap it all up by showing you how the cloud is already, well, everywhere. I want to start with just one number: 70%. Before the cloud, this was about how much of a company's tech budget was spent just keeping the lights on, maintaining all the physical computers, the networking gear, the cooling systems. Think about that. The vast majority of time, money, and effort went into just maintenance, not into building new, cool things. And that, right there, was a huge problem. So let's really dig into that problem. We call it on-premises infrastructure, which is a fancy way of saying you had to build, own, and manage your very own data center from scratch. And as you're about to see, it was a massive, massive undertaking. I mean, the commitment here was just immense. It wasn't just buying a few computers. We're talking about a huge upfront cost for servers, server racks, miles and miles of cables, you name it. Then you had to hire whole teams of specialists to manage everything. You had to pay for power and cooling 24/7, and the whole process could take months just to get set up. This is what leads to that crazy 70-30 split, where almost all your energy goes into just running the place, not growing your business. So, faced with all that cost and all that complexity, the tech world came up with a much, much smarter solution: a completely new way of thinking called cloud computing. You know, the core idea is actually really simple. It's all about access, not ownership. Instead of you building a massive data center, a provider like Amazon or Microsoft or Google does it for you. And then you just access what you need: servers, storage, whatever, over the internet whenever you need it. It totally flips the economics on its head. You're not buying the power plant anymore, you're just paying for the electricity you actually use. This analogy really helps make sense of it. The old way, on premises, is like shopping at a physical store. You have to go there, find what you need, buy it all, bring it all home yourself. It's a whole process. Cloud computing, that's like shopping online. The giant warehouse is somewhere else, but you can order exactly what you need and it's delivered instantly, virtually. You're just renting the resources instead of buying the whole store. Now, that all sounds pretty great, right? And for the most part, it is. But like any big technology shift, there are always trade-offs. So let's take a balanced look at the huge advantages and also the key concerns of moving to the cloud. The advantages are absolutely game-changing. You trade that massive upfront expense for a much smaller, predictable operating cost. The resources are on demand, so if your website suddenly goes viral, you can add more servers in minutes to handle the traffic. We call that scalability. And then when the traffic dies down, you can get rid of them just as quickly so you stop paying. That's elasticity. You can reach a global audience in minutes. It's an incredible, incredible level of agility. But here's the fundamental trade-off. At the end of the day, you're putting your data on someone else's computers. Now, for a lot of businesses, that's totally fine. But what if you're a bank or a hospital or a government agency? You're dealing with incredibly sensitive data. So the biggest question becomes one of trust and security. How can you guarantee that your customers' data is truly safe? And that very question of security brings us to the first big choice you have to make when you use the cloud. See, it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. You have to choose a deployment model that perfectly balances your need for cost, control, and, of course, security. The first, and by far the most common model, is the public cloud. This is what most of us think of: services from providers like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. You're basically sharing a massive pool of computer resources with thousands of other customers. It's incredibly cost-effective and super flexible, which makes it perfect for startups and most common websites. But for those organizations that need absolute control over their data, like the banks or governments we were talking about, there's the private cloud. Here, the entire infrastructure is dedicated to just a single organization. You get all the cool benefits of cloud technology, like easy management, but with the highest possible level of security and privacy because no one else is on your hardware. So what if you want a bit of both? Well, that's where the hybrid cloud comes in. It connects your private cloud and public clouds, letting you keep your most sensitive data super secure in your private environment while using the incredible, scalable power of the public cloud for everything else. It really is the best of both worlds. Okay, so you've chosen where your cloud is going to live. The next big decision is how much of it you want to manage yourself. And this brings us to the three main service models of the cloud. This chart breaks it all down beautifully. Just think of it as a spectrum of control. With infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, the provider handles the basic hardware, but you manage the operating system and your applications. Move one step over to platform as a service, or PaaS. Now the provider handles the OS too. You just focus on your code. And finally, with software as a service, SaaS, the provider manages absolutely everything. You just log in and use it. Let me put it another way. IaaS is like renting the raw building blocks. PaaS gives you the workshop and all the tools you need to build, and SaaS gives you the finished house, completely ready to move into. Think about things like Gmail or Office 365. You don't manage anything, you just use the software. So, we've covered the what, the why, the where, and the how. Now let's bring it all home and see how this technology is already the invisible backbone of your entire digital life. Just think about your day. When you watch a show on Netflix, you're streaming from Amazon's cloud. When you check your Gmail, you're using Google's cloud. Storing your photos, scrolling through social media, shopping online, all of these things are powered by massive global cloud platforms running silently in the background. It is truly the invisible engine of the modern internet. And that brings us right back to that core trade-off. The cloud gives us this incredible convenience, this amazing connectivity and power. In exchange, we give up direct ownership and control of the hardware, and often our data. As the cloud becomes even more woven into the fabric of our lives, that question becomes more important than ever. For all this convenience, what are we giving up in return?